I'm Katie,
I'm Kylie.
and this is
You're Not Paranoid. And then what was that other thing you were going to say? Or was it the withdrawals?
Oh yeah. So if you um are consistently drinking or having caffeine and
Mm-hmm.
then you stop cold turkey, there's kind of like severe um symptoms you can get, and it like would be kind of like the same for like any other drug withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
You can get headaches, insomnia, nervousness, irritability, frequent and or uncontrolled urination, fast heartbeat, and muscle tremors.
Ooh.
I usually get headaches pretty bad, like almost
Yeah.
migraines if I don't have caffeine.
What I was gonna say about those symptoms, and I don't know if you noticed this, but the withdrawal symptoms are the same as too much caffeine symptoms. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
It's kind of like those drug commercials on TV, and it's like trying to like cure depression, and then it's like if you get thoughts of suicide or like worsening depression, I'm like, why would I take that? I'm trying to fix it, not make it
Yeah.
worse.
Isn't that
Yeah, there's.
crazy? Brain
Mhm.
chemistry is like so sensitive, and that's probably why
Mhm.
it's best to just never do any of that ever and go to therapy immediately. You're born, be a baby, go to therapy. So
Baby
I
therapy.
had this like really 9 months, and I felt very claustrophobic, and I couldn't leave my mom, and she was really like attached to me, and I couldn't like go anywhere.
And her choice of music is like, ew.
And then they pulled me out, and I was not ready for that. I like specifically said no thank you, and they went against my wishes. And then I cried and everyone ignored me. It was
Like,
humiliating.
I can't even walk or feed myself. How am I supposed to survive in this world?
And sometimes she gives me this bottle, and I'm like, "Excuse me, you were literally made to feed me. What is this plastic crap?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's traumatizing.
Yep.
Baby,
There's
see,
so
that's like
much
another one. Babies.
baby therapy.
Episode 506. Babies, if they could go to therapy and what they would say.
Oh.
Of our like other podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could go on and on. No, but really, the side effects are the same, which is
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah, and from people that I've like read about going cold turkey or just
Mm-hmm.
getting off caffeine in general, it's really rough.
That'd be kind of interesting if we did our own little
I know, I was like,
experiment.
we should do it.
And every day we just document ourselves like it's the Blair Witch Project. We just have like the cameras, selfie. We're just like, it's day 7. Like,
It's like, where's the
current
caffeine?
symptoms,
I smell
temperature.
caffeine.
Yeah, I know. See, the problem for me would be that we'd have, I mean, you too, is that I would definitely have to ask my husband to also cold turkey because I
Yeah,
don't
it's the
know if
smell
my
of
will,
coffee.
if my strength is that strong that I, whoa, willpower, ooh, could be able to overcome that, you know?
Yeah.
Just the smell of it, I'm like, like
Mm-hmm.
I just drink, I mean, it's pretty like really looking at like what are we doing here is not that great. I drink it black. It's Folgers. It's a little bit burned. I'm just used to it at this point. I don't even know if I like it's just like a like
That's a really
kind of
like
like
mama needs her.
right. That's like smokers. Like I know someone who was telling me that she was like, I don't like the smell of smoke. I don't like the taste of it. But this motion is something
Wow.
about it is the thing. And so I feel like same like this like
Hmm.
warm,
It's
it's
the
like
ritual.
it's the ritual, it's the warm liquid that I know is going to help me get through my morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a it's an out. It's like a little scapegoat.
Yeah.
You're like, everything's okay. I got my coffee.
Yep.
It's like a security blanket.
Mm-hmm. And it's
What
helpful
would we
too,
replace it with? Yeah.
is just like the whole feeling tired. That's like, I feel like part of it too is like, this is going to make me feel better.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it's like the warm and cozy, you know, it's going to make you
Mhm.
feel better
Mhm.
in that sense of like being awake. Now I can
Mhm.
start my day.
Right.
But the girl that I follow, her thing, there's a brand called Ticino and they make tea. I was really hoping I'd have it by today, but it's coming
Mhm.
tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Um, it's, I think, dandelion tea. It's supposed to like kind of mimic coffee flavor and look, but it has no caffeine in it. So that's kind of like the ritual part. Like you can still like
Oh,
brew it and like even put a little creamer in and drink that.
I don't know. I think if I'm gonna cold turkey, I just have to like cut all ties. Like I am enough for my morning. I am my own ritual. Like
But
I
see,
will
that
give
can
myself
be,
the warm and cozies.
yeah. I'm gonna try it. I can report
Okay.
back. And then I do also have from the same uh supplement brand. Shout out Alani New. They can sponsor this episode.
Yay.
They make a non-stimulant like pre-workout.
Then
So
what's the point?
it's supposed to have like the vitamins and like minerals that help you focus or
Mm,
whatever. So it's probably just like B vitamins and whatever, but it doesn't have any sort of stimulant like caffeine or like
got it.
um I think some energy drinks like Celsius, they like say it's like the guarano,
Yeah.
which is like a precursor.
Whatever. I don't
Uh,
know if that's the right name, but it's after the G. I remember that.
yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it doesn't have any of that stuff.
Got it.
So that could be another ritual thing.
Hmm. So hard. Like when you really start thinking, but just like the thought of not having it gives me a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah, because I honestly don't really drink coffee during the week. I just do my pre-workout.
But it's caffeine,
But
so it's still like
that's my ritual.
right.
So I think it would be hard to like wake up and not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of a this is kind of scary. I can't think of a day that I've gone in like 15 years that I've not had coffee in the day.
Hmm.
Like literally every single day.
Yeah, I think I did a week. I was doing some sort, not like a cleanse, but like
Uh-huh.
this kind of like diet thing. I feel like I did feel a little bit better, but I was also eating pretty clean. So that's
Yeah.
that other thing too of like not setting it up as an experiment. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, what thing was it?
Right. Like, am I
So,
getting better sleep? Is it because I'm also eating great? And like all these other
mhm.
things.
Yeah, but
Totally.
I was surprised during that week to not have, because I was kind of nervous, because it was kind of like you can like start having it like later on in the week, but for the first few days, don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of surprised that I didn't have like any headaches or any
Yeah,
withdrawal symptoms.
that's
So I'm
good.
like, I could probably do it. I think at this point, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's more of like a choice. I
Yeah, it's that
was,
thing like you can't help anyone until they're ready to help themselves.
mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, tell me all these things about how bad caffeine is, but I haven't made the choice yet, so I'm not gonna do it. But I really want to because I think it will help me.
Yeah. So I feel so conflicted because there's this article on verywellmind.com about caffeine withdrawal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, it equally sounds horrible. Like when we're talking about like it sounds like the easier thing is to keep drinking it, even like is it really that bad for you if you're like really careful and don't go overboard every day, you know? Because
Hmm.
then they talk about you can have nausea or vomiting, you can feel depressed, anxious or irritable, mental fogginess. They're saying there was actually a lab study that they found there was lower mental alertness and poorer performance with reaction time and memory
I feel like
tests.
that's my biggest symptom this week from having my caffeine is the brain fog. But
From
I also
not
haven't been
having it or
sleeping
from
well, but for
okay,
I've reduced my intake this
gotcha.
week.
Um, dizziness or lightheadedness. What I was going to say when I first were talking about this is instead of going cold turkey, another idea that they had was that you can start by gradually reducing your caffeine intake by 10%, and then
Let's do it.
keep a record of like how you feel, how's it going. And so let's see, they reduce it by some people reduce each caffeinated drink by 10% and dilute it by adding hot or cold water. Sometimes reduce the number of drinks by 10%. So if you have 5 cups of coffee per day, replace 1 cup with a half cup for the first 2 weeks and so forth. A little bit of math going on, but
Yeah, I feel like that's a safer way because those symptoms are pretty intense.
yeah, agreed. And then there's this whole, uh, this article is very long. I talk about long term withdrawal
Mm.
and to be careful of like what you eat or drink because there's more things than you think that actually do have caffeine, like you were talking
Yep.
about earlier. And we'll have all these on our website so you can check them out. Yeah. Anyways, I was just like on this weird. Yeah. So that's like an option too. So if you don't want to go cold turkey, then at least you can do some dilution, which makes a little bit more sense, right?
Yeah.
Like a slow
Slow.
process. Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way.
Depends on what you want. Do you want instant, like, I feel like crap? Or do
Yeah.
you want to long term actually get off caffeine?
Yeah.
Which I don't
Prolong the pain.
know. Yeah.
I know.
Uh, and it's
It's
like a social
tough.
thing. It's like so
Hmm.
fun to get coffee and Starbucks and
I thought I found a website. It was Australia's Alcohol and Drug Foundation, and they
oh,
were like really hardcore about it. They
whoa.
were like, caffeine is a stimulant drug, which means it speeds up the messages traveling between the brain and the body. And then it was like, there's no safe level of drug use. Use of any drug always carries some risk. It's important to be careful when taking any type of drug. I was like,
I
whoa,
feel
Australia.
like Australia is intense no matter what. Like even we have Australian customers, people that we work with, and they're like very like a little over the top. I'm like, you can like dial it back. Things are not that bad. Like calm down.
Yeah. And
But
but
also,
that everything can kill them. Go.
what?
Everything can kill them in Australia.
Everything can kill them. It's
So
true.
that's
So
probably
they're
why they're
taking
like, and so can coffee.
but it's funny because they're so brave and they're like, "Hey, it's fine." Um, no, what was I gonna say?
Your Australian customers.
Oh, yeah, no, I was gonna say, of course, the US is like biggie because we're in bed with coffee. Like, think of how much money coffee companies make
Mm-hmm.
for our, what do you like? Now I'm getting brain fog. For the
Productivity.
economy. Yeah.
That's why it's a perk that your company has free coffee bar
Yeah.
because
Because they're
it's
trying to
get to work.
keep us going.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the people going.
No, it doesn't.
Deja vu.
Uh, um, but that Australian website also listed like the different plants that caffeine is
Oh,
found from
yeah.
or used, which is interesting. So the The Coffea arabica is the coffee one.
Mm-hmm.
These are all really like weird ass names, so apologies.
Well, are they this like
Thea,
genus species?
yeah, like the official scientific.
You're like they're weird ass names. I'm like, but there's a reason.
What was the reason? Um, the Thea cineus is what is for tea. The Cola acuminata is a nut, or it's used as a nut or tea or in soft drinks. Okay, that's weird.
I think it's a
Theo,
nut used in soft drinks, right? Because I saw
but
that
it's
one too.
but the weird in parentheses. It's like used as a nut, tea, or in soft drinks. I'm like,
Ew.
well, if it's a nut, then like it's a nut. You don't use it as a nut. Like it is that. You
That's
know,
hilarious.
it's like cosplaying as a nut.
That's really funny.
Um,
Well, is that why Coca-Cola is called Coca-Cola? Because of the
yeah,
cola nut
and
or
I
whatever
didn't
that
know
is?
that. And it used to be that they actually had cocaine in it, so it makes sense. It's like
Cocaine, cola
cocaine,
nut.
and mhm, keep it simple. The Theobroma cacao, which is used in cacao and chocolate.
Hmm.
And the Pollinia cupana is the that G word, guarana, which is used in
Oh.
snack bars and energy drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Like the natural energy drinks, right?
It's natural, natural ingredients.
Natural.
It's natural.
Still stimulating. Still gonna give you a headache.
Yep. Okay. Well, my other thing is like kind of a different like way that caffeine can affect you.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of like what I was like originally concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's studies. This is from the NIH. Um, results from a study indicated that caffeine consumption among women of childbearing age can influence estrogen levels.
Ooh.
So, short. So this is a quote from one of the doctors, Enrique
Iglesias.
Schitzterman,
Oh, okay.
Schistterman.
Skitterman.
Scheisterman.
Skitterman. Skit.
Schisterman. Anywho,
Skitman.
they said, quote, short term, these variations in estrogen levels among different groups do not appear to have any pronounced effects. We know that variations in estrogen level are associated with such disorders as endometriosis,
Mm.
osteoporosis, and endometrial breast and ovarian cancers. Because long term caffeine consumption has the potential to influence estrogen levels over a long period of time, it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense to take caffeine consumption into account when designing studies to understand those disorders.
Hmm.
So, but it also said that about 89% of US women from ages 18 to 34 consume caffeine of about 1.5 to 2 cups of coffee a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading articles about that, like the effects of caffeine on estrogen and like people with PCOS,
Mm-hmm.
people that are kind of like already like have a hormone imbalance.
Yeah.
Caffeine can be a lot more, uh, or have a lot more impact on you since you kind of already like are off kilter anyway. Like
Mm-hmm.
adding that stimulant to the mix kind of just really f's
F's
things
it up.
up.
Ugh.
Yeah, because like for PCOS, like you can already have like issues with cortisol.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then like caffeine will just like increase it even more. So yeah, that's what
Which
I
is
was looking at.
interesting because if you're already consuming caffeine, then it's like your hormones are the problem.
Yeah.
Not that that answers anything, but I'm like pro caffeine, and then I'm like anti caffeine, and now I don't know.
Yeah, it's more of like you should know what's going on in your body before you add supplements and stimulants. Because it can mask and or what's the word, exacerbate
Yeah.
symptoms that you already have.
Mm,
So
sorry.
it's okay.
That's that's frustrating because then you're like, is it this or is it this?
Hmm. But I think that's why, like, when you're
Mm.
pregnant, you can't have caffeine, right? Or you have
Yeah,
to be careful about it. And like when you're breastfeeding and stuff, you should only have like certain amounts.
yeah, I actually have that right in front of me. Those are the caffeine facts that I was like when I took a look at those. The last one. Would you like to hear it?
For sure.
Um, so actually, this will I'll have to give you some context.
Okay.
I'll just go through the whole article. It's not that long. But only if it makes sense. I don't know why I'm so worried about the way things are progressing today. I
It's
keep
all good.
asking. Okay, good. You want to hear it then?
Yes.
I'm like, tell me I matter. Tell me you want to hear me talk. Okay.
I don't.
Oh, no, we have to end. Okay.
Bye.
Caffeine. Just like you were talking about, 85% caffeine of Americans use caffeine for their ritual. I have a feeling that probably went up during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this is just like interesting things about caffeine and how it metabolizes in your body. So kind of like what you're talking about with
Mm,
women. But I like to
interesting.
I want to set a baseline first for non-pregnant women and also like men and everybody. So the absorption of caffeine into your body, it says, can take 15 to 45 minutes. And that's because it is able to move freely through all the membranes of your body.
Mm.
So it goes through the blood brain barrier, as you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, and it works real quick. And they say instead of when you finish your first cup of coffee, going straight into your second cup, to give it an hour, let it get fully absorbed into your brain, and then go for your second cup of coffee. Kind of like alcohol,
Interesting.
right? You're like,
Yeah.
pace yourself. Like, because once you're too far, you're like, there's no going back. I either need to like, although the thought of trying to throw up my coffee sounds horrible.
Oh.
You're like,
Have you ever
"Eh,"
had
but
those little burps?
yeah, oh
The
yeah,
coffee ones?
like the acid reflux
It
coffee,
burns.
it burns. Maybe that's why they call it the Satan's, whatever they said,
Oh, yeah. What
Satan's
if
soup
they
or something.
that guy just had like really bad like GERD
Yeah,
and
he's
he was
like,
like,
it's
"Oh my
from the
God,
devil.
the devil's in my
The
throat."
devil's rising up in me. I can
But
feel his
it's
flames and fury. And the Pope's
it
like, it's fine.
he's like, "Dude,
Or the Pope's like, it burns so good. I'm too holy. Cannot get past my throat. You never
it's
know.
funny, but it probably like that was their thought process back in the day. Because I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't know, and like everything was the devil.
Yeah. Bobby Boucher, football is the devil. You've seen that movie.
I
Oh,
think so. Which one is it? Is it Waterboy?
yes.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one, but like a long time ago. I don't really remember.
We should make a new one called Coffee Girl. It's like Water Boy, but Coffee Girl.
Okay.
And she just, I guess it's like, it's not that funny. It's like
The
all
bad
the
thing.
secretaries in the movies
Oh,
anyways are basically the coffee girls. So,
yeah.
well, that backfired. Anyways, that's that. They say wait to have your second cup so you're fully absorbing. Um, the way, oh, and this is like explaining how caffeine works. And this is, they're talking about a little bit different side of adenosine, like a different part of that conversation. So they're calling caffeine a doppelganger. You our doppelganger episode, if you want to know what those are. And they're saying that it um it's the shape of caffeine is similar to adenosine, which is a adenosine calms the brain
Mm,
activity, which is what we are saying makes you like more sleepy and makes you helps promote relaxation to fall asleep. But because it's like adenosine, they excuse me, compete for the same receptors in your brain. And so when caffeine wins, it makes it so that adenosine can't make you more tired. And then it also makes your nerve cells fire faster and your blood vessels constrict, which makes you like
So it's a
hypertensive.
double whammy.
Double whammy. That's what we were talking about earlier, too, right? Like it is
Yeah.
a stimulant, but it's also making you less tired. So it's
Yeah.
not just
So it's
overcoming the
both.
tiredness, it's like
Yeah.
double duty. Like, let's double down on this. Let's make
Hmm.
you less tired and also like full throttle. Like, let's cut the brakes and then go into overdrive.
For real.
So no wonder we feel the way we do.
Oh
Jeez.
my God.
Drinking coffee fast doesn't make it work faster.
Oh man.
So they don't recommend doing that.
Okay.
And it's more about dosage and like the the timing in terms of going slower to let yourself absorb it, right?
Yeah. That's what it's like. Have you seen like the gym, the cool kids that dry scoop it?
Oh,
I used to do that when I would
did
go to the
you?
gym.
Ugh.
It's hardcore. You just
That's how
like
you
you
people
put
get heart attacks.
yeah, you take the scoop of pre-workout, you throw it back in your mouth, and then you take a sip of water, swish it so it dissolves, and then you drink it, and then you've got all your pre-workout in one sip of
That's not
water.
how we're that's like so dangerous. That should be something we talk about. I mean,
But you do have a bomb ass workout though.
dude, yeah, because you're like freaking Hulk plus Thor plus Superwoman, like all combined. And then you're gonna hurt yourself because you're like, I got this, and it's like overdrive. Oh,
I haven't done that in a
so
while though, so
it's super bad for you. You know that, right?
I know.
Like, like
Don't do it.
physiologically terrible for you. Not like drinking coffee, like actually bad for you because you're not diluting it enough.
Mm-mm.
You know that thing where people who know best revolt or whatever, they like don't take their own. That is you right now. I'm like, shame on you. How dare you? You know better. I don't
Uh,
want you to die. Oh my gosh. People do get heart attacks from stuff like that. It's insanity.
mhm.
Anyways, I'll stop shaming you. Moving on.
It's fine. That
I'm
was the
like,
old me.
right, pre pink hair.
What's
That
the
was
Taylor
blonde hair,
Swift?
Katie.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, the old Taylor Swift can't come to the phone right now. Why?
I
'Cause she's dead.
That was pretty good
Thank you.
because I murdered her with the too much pre workout. So,
R.I.P. Jim Katie.
oh my gosh, Jim Katie. That sounds like an actor's name. Jim Katie.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I'll
like
name my
J I
kid that.
M.
Yeah.
Jim Katie. That'd be kind of funny to keep instead of keeping your last name, you just make your first name the last name of your
Hmm.
child.
My parents did that with me and my brother, except for their first names are our middle names.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Conceited.
Yeah,
Just
right?
kidding.
Hello.
That's why I changed it when I turned
That makes
18.
so much sense actually. I forgot I didn't even like put that together.
You know, honestly, it took me a while to get that too, so I felt kind of dumb. Like, honestly, I was probably like a teenager.
Oh my gosh. That's really
Whatever.
funny. I also feel like I just saw a face and it like freaked me out for a second.
No, why do you always
And
say that?
no, dude, it was like it was like red and it freaked me out for like a half. Like I don't know if you like look back on the video when you're watching this and I'm
No,
like,
I can't edit this anymore. It's just going up as is.
dude, I'm like, I don't like this. I'm gonna stop looking at things
Is it
besides
your
my
ring
computer.
light? Like,
I don't know. Well, because it's so bright that
yeah.
I look past it and I think I see something. That's what's freaking me out. And I don't like it. Husband? Nope, not him.
Mm.
Anyways, watch. It's just like he painted his face red and is like trying to freak me out.
No.
Okay, moving on. The typical half-life of caffeine, so it's like how long does it take for half of it to be metabolized, is 5 to 7 hours.
Are you serious?
That's what it says. A half-life in the context of nutrition is
Oh.
the amount of time it takes for the body to eliminate half of the original
Half.
dose of a molecule. But there's also a wide range. It says 5 to 7 is like average, but it could be 2.3 to 9.9. So it seems to depend on the person
Holy
probably
crap.
and like what they're doing and their how much they're drinking. Um, they said it has to do with caffeine consumption habits, age, genetics, overall health, and lifestyle choices. So yeah, the let's see. The example they gave was if you enjoy a cup of coffee with about 100 milligrams of caffeine around 3 p.m., then by 9 p.m., when you're ready for bed, you'll have 50 milligrams of that caffeine could still be present. So,
Wow, that explains a lot.
yeah. I try not to
Ugh.
drink past like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. if I can,
Yeah, they say
but
I've
it's
always heard
hard.
like 2 p.m., but I was like, I think I'm too sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So I've to see that's the thing, like I'm pretty good. Like I only have the pre-workout.
Mm,
So, but
but
then
not
that's
dry.
200 milligrams.
That's a lot.
So, that it kind of it's the
That's like,
same.
you're right, actually. I was trying to do the calculation. So, like, 400 milligrams is like 4 to 5 cups. So, yeah, it's like 2 cups of coffee. Guess it's not that
Yeah.
crazy.
No.
Hmm. So then once you drink caffeine, it's metabolized by the liver
Mm,
and the kidneys excrete whatever is remaining into urine. Yeah, you
mm,
actually take out 3 different metabolites from caffeine when it does digest that in your liver.
interesting.
Paraxanthine,
Hmm.
theobromine, and theophylline.
Hmm.
For sure.
My favorite metabolites, actually.
Yeah.
Name your top three favorite metabolites.
Peroxide, I can't even say it. Paraxanthine, theobromine, and theophylline.
Oh my God, me too.
And then lifestyle choices can impact how your caffeine is helping you. Um, and that's why it's challenging when they're like, oh, like this will be good for after 2 p.m. Like anyone who
Hmm.
gives you absolute facts about caffeine and how it affects you are not telling the truth, or they don't even know they're not telling the truth because literally it changes depending on who you
Yeah.
are, what you're used to, how long you've been doing this. Um, they were saying that those who smoke, I read that wrong. I thought it said smoke caffeine. I'm like, that's a thing.
Whoa.
Those who are smokers metabolize caffeine twice as fast as non-smokers, which is
'Cause that's
probably why they're always drinking and smoking, right? That's like a thing.
because isn't that another stimulant, nicotine, or is that a depressant?
No, I think nicotine's a stimulant.
So you're like, I'll get rid of
Alcohol
this
is a
caffeine.
depressant.
There it
They're like
is.
double down. Yeah. And then it was also thought that certain oral contraceptives slow down caffeine metabolism and that one's menstrual cycle could be affected um, depending on how fast caffeine is metabolized, which is why everyone has a different experience with it.
Hmm.
And then now it's pregnancy, and this is where it's a little bit scary for half of us in the population. Well, I don't know the exact odds, but
It's pretty
whatever the
close.
numbers are. During pregnancy, caffeine's half-life increases. So it takes up to from 11 and a half to 18 hours
Oh my
to
God.
metabolize half the amount of caffeine. And they said, especially towards the end, towards the third trimester. It stays longer because it's crossing the placental barrier where neither the placenta nor the fetus have the enzymes to metabolize it.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, like terrifying. So a bunch of health people say cut out caffeine, please. But a lot of major health organizations say that up to 200 milligrams a day is still safe. But
Really?
we're
I don't know if I
also
want to be
like,
chugging back energy drinks like when I'm pregnant.
right. And that's the thing. I think also that's where the conversation of the rate of consumption and X, Y, and Z. And then
Hmm.
also you have to think too, I think it's more, I think depression with pregnancy is more towards the end with postpartum depression. That's a
Mm.
huge thing. But I would imagine that like if you're susceptible to depression and alcohol, I mean, not alcohol, you've been drinking while you're pregnant. Caffeine reduction can contribute to depression too. That they would rather you drink a little bit of caffeine rather than experience
Mhm.
all those things. I don't know. It's complicated. It's a
Oof,
personal
yeah.
choice, but also good to know about
Yeah,
because I
for real.
wondered about coffee and like crossing the placental
Yeah.
barrier. I was like, it's fine, right? Some girls do it. It's like, no, I don't think so. Not for,
You're
I
like,
don't know
"Hey,
that I,
baby, you wanna do
yeah,
some flips?"
literally. It's, yeah. Makes you think. It makes you think.
Mhm. Wow.
Mm. And that is read your food and drink labels to find out how much caffeine is in stuff.
Mhm.
At least you feel like educated on what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'll eat
definitely.
chocolate at night and I'm like, and then I'm like, I think this has caffeine. Katie told me, but I'm gonna ignore that because I really want it. How
Yeah, I
much
feel like
caffeine is in dark chocolate or chocolate?
I think it's not as much as coffee,
We should look this up.
but I feel like sometimes it's also a mind thing.
Or plus sugar, obviously, like in
Oh,
sugar.
well, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Whoa, 120 milligrams. Just kidding. It's 12.
I was like,
And
"What?"
that's in 1 ounce. Whoa, thank you, Google. You can do it by types of candy. So, how
Mm.
much is in M&M's peanut chocolate candies? One serving, so one bag of the M&M's is 5 milligrams.
Oh, that's not bad.
Whoa, milk chocolate has 34. Oh no, that's
Ah,
let's, wait, let's go to one bar. One bar. 9 milligrams. Oh man, I was like, there's no way. Because dark chocolate per bar, they're like not giving the same equivalent. Whoa, dark chocolate 70 milligrams in one bar, but
seven
also
zero.
70 in a whole 162 gram
Yeah, that
bar.
makes sense because milk chocolate is like being diluted with milk.
Right. Hence the name. But also, fun fact, you will probably not be able to finish the whole dark chocolate bar because you'll probably have diarrhea before you do.
No, that's the fake candy. That's the fake chocolate.
No, if you, mm-mm, I object. If you eat too much high purity dark chocolate, have you ever done that before? No, you haven't. I have, and it's terrifying.
You probably had one that had like the whatever.
No, dude, it was from Trader Joe's and it was good quality shit. And it gave
Yeah,
me,
that I've gotten the same ones from Trader Joe's. It's sugar free.
oh, really?
Yeah, they're like the sugar free dark chocolates. They have that
Oh,
the
I hope it wasn't. The thing where you get anal leakage, that's the
yeah,
description of that.
the
I've had
potato
that.
chips.
Yeah, it's like, ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Does
Okay.
dark chocolate give you diarrhea?
Well, I would say caffeine in general can make you have uh
Okay, but yeah, give you diarrhea. Is not wanting me to type it. It's
diarrhea.
like the hidden thing.
They're like, don't talk about that.
Ooh, this looks like a good article. 7 foods that cause diarrhea.
The next episode is like
Oh
just
my
all about
gosh.
diarrhea.
Yeah, the first thing is sugar and artificial sweeteners. Second one's caffeine. Third one is high fat foods, spicy foods, lactose, FODMAPs, which are all those like fructose, lactose, sugar stuff, artichokes, beans, garlic, onions, gluten.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, that wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. I wanted more.
I want more things to give me diarrhea.
It's probably I don't. I've had that before. It's not fun. GERD is real, and so are GI
Uh-huh.
problems. So drink your Olipop fizzy drinks
And
because
don't drink caffeine.
you and don't what? And don't
Drink
drink
caffeine.
caffeine. Yeah. The half-life thing is probably like the craziest takeaway in my opinion.
Yeah, that's really good to know.
And
That's kind of
pregnancy.
influencing my decisions.
Yeah, and like how much I've been trying to titrate down my consumption lately. And it has like I was going like 2.5 strong and I've recently like backed off. And then I'm like
Mhm.
drinking water. I'm like, wow, I actually feel pretty good. Like imagine that.
Mhm.
Drinking water makes you feel good. Yeah, maybe give yourselves a break in between
Mhm.
first and second. Give it an hour. Drink some water. Hydrate because you're dehydrating yourself, and then it's like,
Yeah.
ugh. What was your favorite takeaway or
Um,
the thing you're like, what?
Definitely the half-life and kind of like recognizing the way it can affect you,
Yeah.
like if your hormones are already like messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also reading, so like the girl that I was following, her account is Organic Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and her she has a highlight on it. It's called Depresso. If you want to read her like story about going off caffeine.
Yeah.
Um, but like hearing about like so she's been off it for like I think a couple months now and like all the positive things. Like she actually has natural energy, um, like more clarity. And she was kind of talking about how like caffeine can she's like an herbalist, so some of the stuff's kind of like woo woo.
Yeah.
But um kind of like how caffeine can like mask like underlying depression because it's like that, constant go go go, stimulate stimulate,
Mm-hmm.
um and like kind of like anxiety too. Like you're always like in this like higher like activity state, and when you like can
Mm-hmm.
take away a lot of that stuff, like you can actually like get to like, oh, how am I actually feeling?
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting take on it too.
That is interesting. That's huge. Hmm. Mental health, physical health.
It's all
Hmm.
connected.
That would be an interesting. I feel like we'd have to do a little like like daily vlog. Like here is day one. Like help, send
That would be
caffeine.
kind of like a fun episode. Like we could schedule it from like a few weeks or however long we wanted to do it, and like that could be the episode.
Yeah.
Like either like listening back to it, or we can like cut in and out of us like talking about it live and then like
Yeah.
playing back like or like in
Yeah.
the moment thoughts. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That would be kind of cool. So then it wouldn't come out for like, a month or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, every day would be like a 20-second, like, this is what I'm going through.
Mhm.
I'm not happy. Like,
Yeah.
like sentence emotion,
Mhm.
physical sentence emotion, or something like that. That would be interesting. Things to
Hmm.
consider for our future.
Hmm.
Hmm. But anyways, yeah, that was caffeine. That was like way more stuff than I was thinking. I think I've been in denial. Like I
Yeah,
knew there was
same.
some of this stuff, but I didn't want to like face the beans.
Same. You got to face the beans sometimes.
Gotta face it head on. But also, I don't want to. Why is that such a thing?
I know. That's what I
Mm.
was like. It's so hard. It's like the addiction, the flavor, the taste, ritual.
Hmm. We'll figure it out. 'Cause I don't want to just
Yeah.
replace it with something else. I
But see,
want
I
to be
think you
like,
have to
I think you do.
at
Yeah. 15
first.
years. I mean, more than half my life I've been drinking coffee. So
Wow. That's a lot.
thanks.
Congrats.
Ah, see what happens. But anyways, well, thanks guys for listening and all of
Yeah.
our caffeine personal information also.
Our caffeine woes.
Our caffeine woes, yeah.
I was running through the streets with my caffeine woes.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. Ugh! How are you? Like tell us how you guys feel. Not literally right now, but you can like write to us or
If you want to follow
comment.
along with our journey
Yeah.
that we may or may not do.
I mean, we could make it like a challenge for our listeners, even if they wanted to join in, and we could like, post on our story, how are you feeling today?
Yeah.
And then can share like, oh, K and K's caffeine
Mm-hmm.
journey or like Katie or I don't know. We'll figure out the
Yeah.
thing.
The logistics.
Yes, yes. We'll keep you posted. But anyways, or if you guys have ideas or if you've gone already caffeine free, please tell
Mm-hmm.
us. Tell us
Yeah.
anything. Just want to talk to you. It's just so fun to chat
Yeah.
with you. So, yeah. Have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever. If you're drinking your coffee, sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah. Sorry
Maybe
about
it's
that.
working. They're like, I can't listen. I'm drinking my coffee. Like, this is not meant to make you stop. It's just meant to inform you so that you know what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be drinking my coffee, being like calculating half life. Oh,
I
gotta
know. I
stop.
was just thinking that. I was like, so if I have it at this time, by the time I go to
Yeah,
bed.
it does. It makes you like, you'll
Yeah.
probably feel more in control of your life and like, oh, why do I feel like this? You'll start
Mm-hmm.
maybe having an idea of why that is. Things start making sense
Mm-hmm. It's
for
all
me,
coming
maybe.
together.
Yeah. Anyways, have a wonderful whatever it is.
Goodbye.
See you guys next week.
Toodaloo.
Toots.